Hey guys, this is Nick from forexnoobs.com with some midday analysis. Today is Tuesday, the 6th of September 2016, and the time is 14:17 here in Belgium. I am currently on vacation in Belgium. I won't be back until next week, but I decided to continue doing this analysis during my vacation because, I was on a streak of doing all the analysis, and now I don't want to stop for a week because that means I might be too lazy to get started again. So I'm going to keep doing this analysis. I am doing this analysis from my laptop, so things are going to look a little bit different. Screen's going to be a little more cluttered. Like, we're going to have this thing here in the way sometimes because I need it so I can use the drawing tools of this recording software. But I'll try and keep it out of the way. But other than that, the analysis is probably going to go ahead as normal. So how does this analysis work? When I do this analysis, what I do is I scan for price action setups, namely reversal setups, because those are the main setups I trade. To do that, I do multi-time frame analysis. Multi-time frame analysis, pretty simply, is looking at all the time frames I have for all of these pairs. So I go through each and every pair on my list here, and I go through each and every time frame for all those pairs. This ensures that I rarely, if ever, miss any trade setups because I'm seeing every candle forming as long as I do this several times per day. So I do this analysis several times per day. I only record it and put it on YouTube once per day though, which means that we might not find any trades in this analysis. Just because I'm doing analysis, it doesn't mean I'm 100% for sure going to find trades. Sometimes you find trade setups, sometimes you don't. And just because I don't find trade setups right now, at 2 o'clock, it doesn't mean that when I check back at 10 p.m., so 10 o'clock, that I'm not going to find some trade setups then. So this is just one analysis session out of the, let's say 4 to 6 I do each day. We're going to be looking for price action setups. We're going to be looking for reversal setups, like I said. Let's get started. We're going to kick things off with our USD CAD daily. Looks like something interesting's going on there. So we had a pretty decent reversal from here last week, and I called the reversal, I think it was on Thursday's analysis, and it triggered on Friday, and I made a ton of profit because I'm an awesome trader. No, just kidding. I made a ton of profit because I stupidly forgot to remove my entry order before NFP, which was the plan. I didn't want to be in for NFP. And I forgot to remove my entry order, and I got triggered into the trade, and I actually made profit. But it could have gone the other way, obviously, because, NFP reports are, they move the market a lot, and they moved the market a lot. It was just lucky that it was in my direction. Last week I did pretty well on this trade, but it wasn't because of any planning or skill. It was because of a silly mistake. That being said, my outlook on trading news is changing a lot, and it has been changing a lot for years. More and more, I've started ignoring news releases. I ignore pretty much every news release except for interest rates, NFP, and speeches. But I'm starting to feel more and more that there's not too much danger in trading NFP or interest rate releases. And why is that? So I'll just quickly explain this concept. How do I explain this best? Okay, basically, banks and hedge funds, they pay millions to analysts and to services that provide economic data, such as Bloomberg, Reuters and stuff. So they pay millions per year to these people to analyze news, and they know with a high degree of accuracy what the NFP is going to come out as this month. What any news release that's going to have a major impact in the market, they're going to know pretty much spot on what that news release is going to come out as and what effect it's going to have on the market. That's why they pay millions. They pay millions to these analysts, and for this information, they pay millions because it's going to give them an edge. So they know what the NFP is going to come out as. They knew before this came out that it was almost certainly going to drive USD CAD down. they knew the effect it would have. So what does that mean? How is that useful to us? As price action traders, that is useful to us because we can determine what banks are doing and how they're positioning themselves to take advantage of these news releases. So when we see something like this, two pretty strong indecision candles forming on a strong area of resistance the day before NFP, I'd say you can make a fairly educated guess that banks are positioning themselves to profit from the fall that they are expecting to see with the NFP release. Now, am I confident enough to actually start trading that live? I think that's a question I'm going to answer next month's NFP. We'll see how it goes. I want to do some more research. I have been trading this concept live, so I have been pretty much ignoring news releases or even positioning myself to profit from news releases when I think they're going to push price in one direction based on my price action analysis, but not with NFP because NFP has always been scary. I started trading in 2006. It was Forex in 2006, I think. No, Forex in 2004, actually. Back then, in those days, the NFP report was just crazy. It could push price 1,000 pips. In 2007, NFP report could push price on certain pairs, 500 pips in just a few seconds. It was crazy. It was scary. These days, NFP is a lot more tame. It still moves the market, but not as much. So I'm starting to learn to be less and less scared of NFP. And even though last week, admittedly, this was a mistake that led to some nice profits. This mistake has only reaffirmed my views on news and how to handle news. And that means that next week I'm probably, if I get as clear a trade setup as this before NFP, sorry, not next week, next month, I am probably just going to go ahead and take the trade. But I am going to do some more research and see if my theory holds true over the last few years on NFP releases. If we get a setup this clear, if it's pretty much NFP always pushes the price in that direction. Does anyone have any questions about that? I know this is analysis and we've already spent 8 minutes not actually doing analysis and just talking about last week's USD CAD setup. Does anyone have any questions about this, or are you guys all clear on it? Do I think NFP has less of an impact these days? Honestly, I'm not sure. When I was saying earlier that NFP would move price 500 pips, the thing about that is, at the time, there was much higher volatility overall in the Forex market. So relative to the volatility we have now, I feel that NFP moves the market a lot less, but that feeling is not backed up by any actual statistics. I would definitely have to go and dig in to the statistics there, and it's something I am going to do over this month in preparation for possibly trading NFP next month. So the answer to your question is yes, gut feeling, NFP has less of an impact, but do I have the actual numbers there? No, it's just a gut feeling on that one. Yeah, GBP JPY a few years ago was moving insane amounts. 2008, you could get GBP JPY moving about 1,000 pips in a day. It was crazy, but that wasn't due to news. That was just a general high volatility in the Forex market at the time. I think around about 2006, we had volatility that was, if I remember correctly, roughly equal to what we have now, perhaps even a little slower. Then in 2007, we got a really huge ramp up in volatility, which lasted through to about 2009, where it started decreasing into 2010, all the way through to 2014, where we had record low volatility. And then it started to ramp up again. And now we're getting volatility that is at what we were seeing in 2006. So a lot of people that were trading back then, a lot of us are feeling that we could be seeing a return to those insanely high volatility periods if there is any actual pattern being followed. But it's just a guess, and whatever really happens, it's not going to change the way I trade. In the end, I'm just going to be getting bigger targets and bigger stop losses for the same trades. My support resistance areas are going to be more spread apart. One thing that would definitely see some more light would be continuation trades in an event like that. If price action, if volatility goes back up to what it was in 2010, continuation trades become a lot more profitable because of the insane trends you're getting. But anyway, guys, let's get on with the actual analysis. We've spent 11 minutes just chatting about volatility and new setup. So let's get on with the actual analysis. What are we seeing here on USD CAD? It actually looks really good. I'm actually pretty excited about this. So we're seeing indecision forming on top of this support area. It's a clear support area. We've had this place for quite some time. It's had several bounces in the past, slightly lower, but this one's been adjusted up because of this congestion here. And now we're seeing some pretty solid indecision forming there. I mean, it hasn't closed yet, still got quite some time until it closes, but it is definitely indecision. It's definitely stalling there. We could even see it on the 12-hour. So what does that mean for us? It means, we'll look at it on the 8-hour. It means we could potentially get a trade here. I'm not sure. I mean, like, I'm tempted to maybe say 8-hour, but to be honest, what I'm seeing on the 12-hour makes me a little apprehensive about trading this on a lower time frame. What we have here is buyers taking control in this candle, but then sellers take control again, and they push through to the kind of lower end of this support area, and then buyers take control again. So, I'm not too confident in buyer strength right now. It's clear that buyers and sellers are struggling for control of price. Not too confident in buyer strength, so I'm probably going to steer away from trading this on the 8-hour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this to form on the daily. We've got a nice little indecision candle forming here on the daily. If it closes as it is now, I'm sure we could potentially get a good risk to reward ratio on this one. Sorry guys, that I'm moving it so slow. My mouse is not as good, and it's not even on a mouse pad because, like I said, I'm on vacation, so I haven't got all my normal gear. Okay, yeah, 3-to-1 risk reward ratio at the next resistance area. So quite clearly, we've got a pretty decent risk to reward ratio here. I probably wouldn't target 3-to-1. I'd probably do something more like sorry, not 3-to-1, 1-to-3. I'll probably do something more like 1-to-2, I think. But yeah, this definitely has some potential. So keep a close eye on USD CAD, guys. Euro USD. Let's see what's going on with this one. Yeah, nothing much really. Right, GBP AUD, what are you doing? You're stuck in between two support resistance areas, which means you're not going to give us anything. Yeah, definitely we're not going to get anything from GBP AUD. Euro GBP, stuck between two support resistance areas, so not going to get anything from this pair. Let's just quickly go through it. Yeah. AUD USD. What's going on here? Ooh, what's going on the lower time frame there? It looks like maybe on the 12-hour or the daily. No, not on the daily. Maybe on the 12-hour, but let's drop down a little lower and see what's all right. Now that's looking quite nice. Hmm. 6 hour seems interesting. I've been very apprehensive about taking trades on lower time frames lately. All right, we do have some potential here. I'm checking this out on the 8 hour right now. It probably has some potential on the 6 hour. Damn it, that's a long position. Okay, there you go. Yeah, we got a decent risk to reward ratio, even if we pull our target up here. Yeah, we do. Reason I'm thinking target could be good up here is because of this minor bounce here. Sorry, not that one. This minor bounce here. It kind of lines up with there. You know, price might stall there, might bounce away. I don't know, but we still got a 1.84 risk to reward ratio down here. And if you were to put it down to here, you get a much better risk to reward ratio. So yeah, we have some potential on AUD USD 8 hour. Worth keeping an eye on, definitely. Let's move that. Okay, where were we? USD JPY. It's in between two support resistance areas. So as usual with a pair that's doing this, you're not gonna get any actual reversal setups. Again, in between two support resistance areas, so you're not actually going to get any reversal setups. I still like to go through every time frame when something like this is happening, just because it gives me an idea of what price is doing. And sometimes you are going to be surprised. Sometimes you know, you'll see something on a lower time frame, and you'll say to yourself, you know, I might be able to take a trade there. Like here. You know, this is actually reversing here. There might have been opportunity for a trade here. If you adjusted this support area up, if you had reason to, not just because you feel like it because you want to take a trade, but I'm saying if there's a logical reason to, adjust these support resistance areas, you might be able to get into a trade there. I'm not going to do that right now. I was just making a point that even though you go to your daily chart and you see that price is in between two support resistance areas, it's no reason to just skip that pair. Still go through and look at all the time frames, because sometimes you're going to see something and you're going to catch something. New Zealand USD broken above resistance, so yeah, we're not going to see much here. GBP USD is making a second attempt at this resistance area on the 3 hour chart, so on the daily. Might look, oh no, it's not as good as I thought. But this is interesting, guys. This is actually really interesting. Let me explain why. So ever since Brexit, you know, Brexit happened, surprised a lot of people. Oh, damn it. Wait, one sec. Let me pull this up here. Yeah, that's better. All right, so Brexit happened. It surprised a lot of people. Price dropped down into this kind of yellow shaded area. You know, price went bam, and it dropped down, and it's been stuck here pretty much ever since, bouncing from this high and from that low. So now we're getting at that high again. Price is at that high, and it's struggling. You know, these two candles here, 2 daily candles, price tried to push through and it couldn't get through. It's struggling. It's made 3 attempts to get back up above this area. 3 attempts, 1, 2, 3. Now it's on its 4th attempt. Inside of its 4th attempt, it's already bounced away from it twice. So what is it going to do now? No one really knows, but what we do know is this is pretty strong resistance and price has struggled to get through here. So we could be seeing a potential reversal setup here. If everything falls into place and actually looks like a good tradable reversal setup, I might go ahead and enter that as a reversal setup. Probably going to want to do so on the daily though, because there's doesn't look like there's much chance of entering anything like that on these lower time frames. So yeah, you know, this is not a potential setup yet. We've just got price heading into resistance. There's no indecision here. It's clear that price is struggling, but there's no clear indecision. There's no clear way to judge what would be a good entry for this one and anything like that. Is the sound cut out for everyone or just for JCM? Sound gone, lost audio. Okay. All right, let me just pause the record. All right, so audio is back. Let's keep going. Basically, what we're going to do is probably just wait for something to form here, some kind of indecision candle. I just want to get a clear sign of indecision. I'm not sure what's going to happen right now. You know, it's going to be very easy for price to continue to push up at this point. You know, it is at strong resistance, but it looks like buyers are firmly in control. We've got a higher high here, a higher high here, and also here, and we've got higher lows consistently. We're currently with a higher low. So, you know, we're seeing signs that the buyers are in firm control of price. You know, higher highs, higher lows, that's all signs of a bullish trend, even though it's at resistance. On the 12-hour, we might be seeing signs of price stalling, but on the daily, I want to see some indecision form here. So it's worth keeping an eye on GBP USD, but I don't think we're going to see anything here on the daily until Thursday or so. So do keep an eye on it. But it's probably not going to show us anything until Thursday. All right, let's take a quick look at GBP JPY, but again, it's in between 2 support resistance areas, so we're not going to get anything here. Yeah, okay, nothing. Euro JPY. Looks like its breakout is doing quite well. Broke out of this support area after a very long struggle in there. But again, it's in between 2 support resistance areas, so we're not going to get any potential trade setups here. I'll fix sound. I don't know what is up with the sound. I really don't. I don't understand that. We're almost done here, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. AUD New Zealand is in between 2 support resistance areas, so we're not going to see anything here in terms of tradable setups. I'm just trying to rush a little bit at this point just to get through everything. Just give me a heads up if sound drops again. I thought this was going to be easy. I thought, you know, I'll bring my laptop, I'll bring a little mic with me, and then I'll be able to do all this analysis in a quick 20 minutes while my girlfriend just sits in bed, and then we can go out. But we're already 45 minutes in because of all the technical difficulties. But I will be persistent and I will continue this analysis tomorrow. Yeah, there's nothing really happening here on AUD JPY. At first glance on the daily, it looked like price might be reversing, and maybe if we go up to the 2-day, we might see something. But yeah, look at it on the 2-day. It looks kind of good, but I don't know. If you were to trade this as an indecision candle, you could just by looking at it, I'm almost 100% sure that you would not get a good risk to reward ratio on a setup like this. It just looks kind of obvious. All right. In case audio was out, I just restarted it. So, yeah, it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio at the next support area for this one. So, well, maybe that's a bit off, but it's just not worth it. So nothing on AUD JPY. You guys can still hear me, right? All right, cool. Nothing going on USD CHF, nothing worth trading. New Zealand CAD, these pairs are not pairs I really trade. I don't even have support. Oh no, I do. No, but I don't have proper support resistance areas for this pair, I don't think. We're not going to do analysis for GBP CAD and New Zealand CAD. Let's just get rid of those ones. New Zealand CAD is a pair I opened up like 2 weeks ago when there was a potential trade setup there, and it was a horrible setup. It's not a pair I normally trade, so let's just get rid of that. That is it for the analysis today, guys. So we do have potential setups on USD CAD, on AUD USD, and on GBP USD. Damn it, AUD USD looks like it's already falling. Might be worth taking on the 6 hour. I'm gonna, as soon as I end this analysis, I'm gonna run my numbers on this one and do my risk analysis and decide if I want to enter this one, because it looks like it's about to trigger right now. So I'm gonna wrap up this analysis quite quick and have a look at that. And if so, I will post it to the forum. But yeah, AUD USD on either the 6 hour or the 8 hour. USD CAD, I'm looking at on the daily. Just because I'm not too confident of what I'm seeing on the 12 hour. So I just want price to show me some solid indecision. I want buyers to show me that they're actually going to take control here. So I'm going to wait for this one on the daily. If it closes as is now, we've got a really nice potential setup there. And GBP USD, yeah, this is just something to watch out for in, for Thursday, I think. So if we do get indecision here, it will probably happen tomorrow's daily candle. And then on Thursday is when we would get the entry trigger for that, if it happens, theoretically, if we get the indecision candle. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm sorry for all the audio issues. Once again, I'm on vacation. I'm not working with my normal gear. I have a laptop, I have a mic, and for some reason it's not working perfectly. But like I said, I will be persistent. I'll keep doing this analysis for the rest of this week. So I'll see you for tomorrow's analysis. I hope you enjoyed this analysis, guys, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.